Adolf Hitler was born in Austria in 1889. His early life lacked clear direction, marked by failure in his ambition to become an artist. Rejected twice by the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts, he felt adrift and resentful. He spent years in Vienna living marginally, selling postcards and small paintings. These years were characterized by poverty and social alienation. He developed a strong sense of German nationalism, feeling more German than Austrian. In May 1913, Hitler moved to Munich, Germany, seeking a new beginning. The outbreak of World War I in August 1914 was pivotal for Hitler. He saw the war as a chance for grand struggle and a release from his aimless civilian life. He petitioned King Ludwig III of Bavaria to enlist in the Bavarian army, an unusual request for an Austrian. Surprisingly, his request was granted. Hitler joined the 16th Bavarian Reserve Infantry Regiment known as the List Regiment. Enlistment gave him a sense of purpose and belonging. He embraced military life with zeal, finding structure and discipline appealing. The war offered an escape from personal failures and a stage for what he considered a heroic national endeavor. He felt he was finally part of something larger than himself. This sense of purpose and belonging was profound for him. The structure and discipline of the army appealed to him. The war provided a stage for what he considered a heroic national endeavor. The List Regiment, with Hitler among its ranks, was deployed to the Western Front. They first saw action in Flanders, Belgium, in October 1914. The nature of warfare on the Western Front was brutal and unforgiving. Soldiers endured trench warfare, living in squalid conditions under constant threat. Hitler served as a regimental messenger, a critical and dangerous role. Messengers carried dispatches between headquarters, often across dangerous, contested ground. Reliable communication was essential for coordinating battlefield actions. Human runners like Hitler were indispensable, facing immense dangers. They had to traverse open terrain under enemy fire, with a high risk of death or injury. Hitler's survival through 4 years in this role was remarkable. He later used his frontline experiences to build his image, emphasizing his bravery. Some fellow soldiers described him as fearless, while others noted his detachment. His continued service in this hazardous role indicates resilience and perhaps fatalism. Hitler's service was not without injury. In October 1916, during the Battle of the Somme, he was wounded by a shell splinter. This serious injury required evacuation from the front. He was sent back to Germany to recover, observing a lack of war enthusiasm among civilians. This experience likely contributed to his later bitterness and belief in betrayal. Despite his later claims of constant frontline heroism, Hitler received official recognition for his service. He was awarded the Iron Cross Second Class in December 1914. More significantly, he received the Iron Cross First Class on August 4, 1918. This rare award for a corporal was recommended by Lieutenant Hugo Gutmann, Hitler's Jewish superior officer. This irony stands in stark contrast to Hitler's later anti-Semitism. The award boosted Hitler's self-esteem and reinforced his sense of being special. It became a key part of his public image during his political career. He wore it constantly, symbolizing his supposed bravery and dedication. The circumstances surrounding the award are noteworthy and often highlighted by historians. Even amidst the camaraderie of the trenches, Hitler remained an outsider. Accounts from fellow soldiers paint a picture of a man often isolated. He avoided alcohol, card games, and talk about women, setting him apart. Hitler preferred discussing art, history, or politics, often lecturing rather than conversing. He was seen as a loner, content with his own company or books. Respected for his bravery as a messenger, he was not necessarily well-liked. He was regarded as an obedient and diligent soldier but not leadership material. He remained a corporal throughout his service, never rising to a higher rank. His wartime persona was complex, brave, but peculiar and detached from his fellow soldiers. As 1918 progressed, Germany's military situation became dire. The Great German Spring offensives failed, and fresh American troops bolstered the Allies. Supplies dwindled, and weariness spread through the army and home front. In mid-October 1918, Hitler was temporarily blinded in a British mustard gas attack. While recovering in a military hospital, he learned of Germany's surrender and the Kaiser's abdication. The news devastated him, feeling all sacrifices were in vain. In this state of shock and anger, Hitler embraced the stab-in-the-back myth. This false idea claimed the German army was betrayed by internal enemies, not defeated militarily. Jews, Marxists, socialists, and civilian politicians were accused of undermining the war effort. This myth provided a simple, emotionally satisfying explanation for the defeat. It absolved the military leadership and soldiers like Hitler of responsibility. This belief became a central tenet of his future ideology. The end of World War I left Hitler without a clear future. He returned to Munich in late 1918, a city in political turmoil. Revolution and counter-revolution were in the air, and the Weimar Republic struggled for stability. Hitler remained in the army, lacking other prospects. He became an informant for the army's intelligence department in Munich. In September 1919, this led him to a meeting of the German Workers' Party, DAP. This encounter changed the course of his life and history. Hitler's war experiences profoundly shaped his political ambitions and rhetoric. The sense of camaraderie and sacrifice fueled his belief in destiny. The stab-in-the-back myth provided scapegoats Jews and Marxists. He used his war record to build an image of a dedicated patriot. World War I was the crucible in which Adolf Hitler, the future Führer, was forged.